So it's a nice thing that you can do even when you're still lying in bed. First thing in the morning when you open your eyes, to really consciously begin to just be mindful of your breath and the state of your body. So imagine that we just woke up and we're lying in bed and we're in that sort of sleepy state where you realize that you're awake and you might still have some residue feeling of your dreaming. And it's a good opportunity to kind of get a vibe for your dreaming, a little bit of a download. And then feel how the body's feeling. Notice if there's any, like, if you've slept a bit awkwardly, if there's any obvious tension. And then also noticing how you woke up with your mindset. Were there any residue from the day before? And then as you lie there, you're connecting to the breath. So we're just breathing now. And one thing you can do when you wake up in the morning to make this like a meditation is, as you're breathing, imagine feeling the blankets on you and notice the pressure of the blankets. As you inhale, the abdomen expands as if you're lifting the blankets slightly with your breath. And then as you exhale, you relax. So you want to imagine or feel the blankets, the sheets, the mattress. So really, really present, so that your mind doesn't race ahead to everything that's going to happen in the day ahead. You're still really present, and use that as almost like a meditation. If that's all you bring into your life, no more meditation than that, just a very conscious awakening in the morning will make a massive, massive difference to your mindset and stress levels. So now we're going to take the arms back and just stretch. Point down through the toes, do a big reach with your arms. And then you're going to bring both knees to the chest, holding onto the knees. And you can do a little bit of rocking here, maybe rocking the knees side to side a little bit. So particularly if you did wake up and you feel like the back's a bit stiff, before you actually get up and do any weight bearing, you want to create some ease in the tissue. You might circle around. And if you're doing this in your bed, you throw the blankets off, and hopefully you got a big enough bed not to disturb anybody else. Going into some circles in the other direction. Now we hold it to the center. You're going to bring your nose to the knees, squeezing the breath out. Lowering your head down. And then take your left leg down and reach your right leg up. This is one of my favorite things to do in bed before I get up. Just going to do some ankle rotations. So we know about the fascia. We know about the connective tissue. Go the other way. And it gets sticky and gluggy when we sit still. So if you're lying down for quite a while, and usually in one position for a while, your tissue gets gluggy and sticky. So doing these little hamstring stretches and ankle rotations before you get out of bed makes huge difference. When you then stand up, your tissue's already ready for that. Now bring that right knee into the chest, bending the knee, and take the leg across into universal spinal twist. Another one of my favorites. And definitely one we need to add to the list of doing on a daily basis. We ease back to the center. Take the legs straight down. And then we'll take the left leg straight up and going into our ankle rotations here. Both directions. And we hold, draw it towards you. Feel that stretch in the hamstring. Then bend the knee and take the leg across the body. Look in the other direction. And then come back to the center again. All right, so you're gonna have the legs straight down, raise your arms to the ceiling. We're gonna tuck the thumbs and wrap the fingers around, so you're making 2 fists, and then going into your wrist rotations. So this literally is my morning routine in bed. At least, the very least, I do that, the ankle and wrist rotations and the hamstring stretch. Another nice opportunity to get some movement going in the wrist, go the other way. And in our practice today, it's a nice opportunity to do that before we get into any weight bearing on the hands. So again, be really deliberate here. We open the hands towards the ceiling. Spread the fingers and then take the fingers of one hand, pull them towards your face as you're pressing the palm towards the ceiling. Then pull on the thumb. And then the other hand, pull the fingers towards the face, keeping the arm nice and straight. Pull on the thumb. Now place your fingers on your shoulders. We're going to some shoulder rotations here. We're just about to do our whole yoga practice without getting out of bed. Just going into those shoulder rotations, circling around, coordinating the breath and the movement together. So you inhale as you open it, exhale as it comes through for that touch. Okay, when you're ready, go the other way. We take a big stretch, reach back with the arms like you're doing a big yawny wake up stretch. Reaching long. And then let's come to sitting. So we'll sit with the legs straight and place your hands onto your shins, sitting nice and tall. And then just tuck the chin and slide forward easily. If you had the time and the space, this would still be good to do in bed as well, because that lumbar fascia is often where we've got all that stickiness in the morning. You can let your head hang a little bit so you gently feel the stretch happening, a little bit of leaning. Easing out of that slowly, then come to a butterfly position, so seated butterfly. Soles of the feet together, holding onto the ankles or the toes, then gently lean forward. You can use your elbows to press. And then just start to look forward, so we're slowly getting a bit more into a stronger stretch. You could even take your fingers to the front. Do a little walk to one side. Over to the other side. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more breaths here. easing out of that. And then bring the knees up. We'll come around to hands and knees. So another daily, one of my favorites is the cat flows. Let's move into those now. In your own time, coordinating the breath and the movement. You can send your jaw forward a little bit more when you look forward. Lengthen through the spine, open through the chest. And then we'll take the toes together, knees apart, and moving to child's pose. Forehead to the ground, forearms to the ground. A long exhale here. Softening. You can just stay like that, or you can add that little side movement, getting into the lats a little bit more. The nice thing about that side movement too is the opening up between the ribs, the intercostal muscles. And we can do that in both. And that really enhances or optimizes the breathing as well. And then we'll come back into the center. Come back up to hands and knees, tucking the toes under. We'll do a little walk back and come onto your toes. So lifting the knees and just do some rocking. Wake up the feet a little bit here. Always amazing how much tension there is in the feet. Just feel how that relates to the calves and Achilles, which obviously going to benefit or enhance our downward dog, mountain pose. Doing a bit of this early work. And then we're going to come down to the knees, walk forward, and then tuck the toes, push up to the mountain. Now keep the mountain just nice and easy. Keep your knees quite bent. And just do some marching through the feet. So just extending from the stretch, getting more into the calves and the Achilles. Now come back down to hands and knees. And we'll do a little bit of mobility through the hands. So the right hand, you're going to pick up the hand, turn it to the right and turn it all the way around so your fingers are pointing towards your, so you're on your knees and you're turning your hand all the way around with your palm facing down and your fingers are pointing back. So not the back of your hand, the palm of your hand. Turn it towards your knees. And if it's really hard, you bring it closer to your knee. What we're going to try and do is pick up each finger. So with your left hand, you're going to try and pick up your right little finger, then the next finger. So you're going to use your other hand to try and pick each finger up off the floor. So go over with your left hand, you're trying to pick up each finger. And so if that's almost impossible, you just bring your hand closer to your knee. And if that's still almost impossible, you just touch each finger as if you're going to pick it up. Feel that stretch. Then once you've picked up each finger, you're going to do the same hand but upside down the other way around. So now your palm is facing up and the back of your hand is on the floor. And then straighten your arm as much as you can. So you should get your forearm extensors. Hold it there, stretch it out a little bit. With all the time we often spend on the computer, we forget all these extra little muscles and things. Give a little shake out. And then we'll do the other side. So you're going to take your left hand, turn the fingers to the left, turn the fingers all the way to the back. So you're rotating it all the way around, palm facing down. And then we take the little finger, try and lift it. Then we try and lift the next one, the next one, and the next one. So picking up each finger. If you can, maybe bring it closer to your knee if it's almost impossible. And then you have the same hand upside down, so the back of your hand on the mat. And then try and straighten your arm out. Okay, and then release that. Bring the hands forward. We're going to tuck the toes and push back to the mountain. Hold it there. Suction the hands into the floor. Lift the sit bones nice and high. Let the head hang. And then gently ease back down to the knees. And then from here, we're going to step the right leg forward between the hands. So we'll start to move more towards the middle of the body. We're sort of stayed with the outer parts of the body. So we're going to move into hip flexor. So send your sternum forward. Hold it for a few breaths. Now we're staying here. So we're not moving back too much. All we're doing is taking the pressure off a little. And then we move into it a little, and then we ease off a little, and then we move into it a little. So do that a few times, so kind of massaging that hip flexor. And then we'll just hold it there. And come back to the knees. And back to the mountain. Again, if you're feeling quite tight in the back and in the hamstrings, just keep your knees quite bent for now. Ease back to the knees, step the left leg forward, and then hold and lunge. We ease out of it a little bit and ease into it. Keep doing that a few times. Take that. It doesn't need to be too big, so we're not like going all the way back. All we're doing is kind of, you feel that pull sensation, and then you ease off. And then again, you go into the pull sensation, and you ease off a little bit. Good. And then we're going to hold it there. Lift the chest. Tuck the back toe and now step to the front of the mat. Grabbing the elbows, wrist elbows against the top of the knees. So we're still keeping it a little easy, this forward bend. So your knees are bent, your weight is you're resting your forearms into the top of your knees and letting the head hang. A couple of breaths like this. Now place your hands onto your knees, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, push through the feet, roll up. Good. So we're going to take that right arm up and side bend over towards the left. And just lengthen out, Hold it for a few breaths. Coming back, and we'll change to the other side. Reach out through the fingertips. And then come back down. So let's bend the knees and rotate the spine. Just slowly swing the arms around. The knees are bent so there's no locks in the body. And just find the spine and just focus on the spine and feel that your rotation's happening from there. And the head turn. Couple more. And we ease back to the center. The feet come a little bit closer together. We're going to place our hands to a prayer position. Taking a few moments here, close your eyes. Just notice that just that nice gentle start, like everything we did from lying down to sitting, to hands and knees and that mobility. Just see how good that feels. And that could be a daily practice. Just mobility. You could do that anytime. But it's just a really easy way to start the day, even if you just did the lying down stuff. Makes a big difference overall. So we're going to create a bit of flow now. So raise your arms, breathing in. Send the hips forward. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold forward. Grab the ankles. Keeping your knees bent. Take the hands to the floor. Step the right leg back. Bring your knee down. And then open up here through the hip. And then come to the mountain. Breath into the hands. Maybe the legs get a bit straighter now. And then we come down to the knees. Shift your weight forward and lower your chest to the floor. Taking a breath into cobra. Now we haven't done much back bending yet. So go easy and then back to the mountain. Stepping the left leg forward, back knee down, opening up. And then step through to the front of the mat, hanging over the legs. Sit into the heels a little, press the floor away, raise your arms overhead. Big stretch, lift that front body, and then exhale. Fold down again. Take the left leg back, knee down, open the front body. And then step back to the mountain, exhale. Come down to the knees, shift your weight forward, chest down, slide into cobra. And then exhale back to the mountain. Big step forward with the right leg. Inhale. And then step to the front of the mat as you exhale. Pressing through the feet, the arms come up overhead, sending the hips forward, and then exhale. Hands come into a prayer position. Eyes are closed. One full breath here. And then take another inhale, raising the arms. Open the chest, send the hips forward, exhale, fold forward, push the bottom back a little bit as you go forward, and step the right leg back. Open up, hips, ribs, chest, head. So finish that pose. Sometimes we kind of just put the knee down as a way to get back, but this is the pose. We hold it for a sec. And then we go to the mountain. Holding the breath, come to the knees, lower the chest, then breathe into cobra. And then exhale back to the mountain. Stepping the left leg forward. Inhale here. Again, so it's hips, ribs, chest, head. It's not just a step so that we can come to the front of the mat. Then we step to the front of the mat, hanging. Press through and roll up. And we'll go back down, breathing out. Sitting the bottom back a little as you hinge forward. Left leg steps back, opening up. And then step back to the mountain. Exhale. Coming down to the knees, lowering the chest down, sliding through to cobra. And then exhale back to the mountain. The right leg steps forward, breathing in. And then step to the front, breathing out. Rolling up, pushing the ground away, raise your arms. Hands come to a prayer position. So let's do the same sequence, but just change the breath. A little bit more dynamic. So we breathe in, and then we exhale, fold. The right leg steps back. We take that breath in, but now we hold the breath as you come back to the mountain. Holding the breath. Then come down to the knees and exhale as you come down. And then breathe into cobra. And again, hold the breath as you come to the mountain. Keep holding the breath, stepping the left leg forward. And now breathing out as you step to the front of the mat. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale as we fold forward. The left leg steps back. Inhale. And then hold the breath. Come back to the mountain. Come down to the knees. Dynamically exhale as you come down. Then inhale to cobra. And then hold the breath back to the mountain. Hold the breath. Step the right leg forward. Exhale to the front. Inhale coming up. And then exhale, hands to prayer. So close your eyes for a moment. Just see how that changes the effects of the sequence. Maybe you feel your heart rate change, your breathing. Or maybe you can notice that prana, that vitality. We're going to do one more round with that breath pattern. So we take a breath in, up. Dynamic exhale forward. The right leg back. Take a breath in. Hold the breath to the mountain. Come down to the knees, dynamic exhale down, inhale to cobra, hold the breath to the mountain, hold the breath, step the left leg forward, exhale to the front, inhale up, exhale down, the left leg back, inhale, hold the breath to the mountain, exhale down, inhale, cobra. Hold the breath to the mountain. Hold the breath, right leg forward. Exhale, step to the front. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Good. So we're going to do one more round of this, and we're going to change the breath again, but this time we're going to slow it down. We're going to add a breath. So we take a breath in. And then we exhale. Now we inhale, push through the feet, stretch back a little bit. Exhale, fold forward. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, squeeze further towards the legs. Now stepping the left leg back. Take a breath in. We've got left leg back. You're going to hold, breathe out. And as you inhale, sink a little to the hips, lift your chest. Step back to the mountain. Hold it here. Take a breath in. Just lift your heels up. And as you exhale, draw the heels back to the mat. Stay in the mountain. Hold it here. Come down to the knees. Lower the chest down. Breathe into cobra. We're going to stay in cobra, breathing out. As you breathe in, see if you can lift a little bit more. And then breathe out back to the mountain. Come up onto your toes, breathing in and then lowering the heels down as you breathe out. Take a big step forward with the right leg, breathing in. Stay here as you breathe out. As you breathe in, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, step to the front of the mat. Take another breath in here. Exhale, melt forward. Press through the feet, raise your arms, breathing in. Take a breath out, and as you breathe in, send your hips forward, stretch yourself up and back, exhale, folding down. Stay here, breathing in, and then melt a little bit further into it, maybe even straighten your legs. Take the right leg back, right leg, breathing in. Holding as you breathe out, lengthen your body as you breathe in. Step back to the mountain, breathing out. Lift your heels off the ground and then bring them back down on the exhale. Come down to the knees, lower the chest, breathe into cobra. Hold it here, breathing out on your inhale, go a little deeper. Exhale back to the mountain. Up onto the toes. Stay here, breathe out, heels down. Stepping the left leg back, breathing in. Stay there as you breathe out. As you breathe in, lengthen your body. Good. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. Stay for a breath in, exhale, melting into it. Maybe even straighten your legs a bit more. And then bend your knees, rolling up. Take a breath in. Hold it here, breathing out. Stretch long, stretch back. And then exhale, hands to prayer. Close your eyes. Just feel how that gradual progression of fluidity and ease coming into the body. A little bit of waking up, a little bit of vitality. We're going to turn and face the long end of the mat. So we'll take the feet out wide now. Go a little bit pigeon-toed here. So turning the feet a little bit inward, facing the long end of the mat. Unlock your knees. Now take your arms out wide and then hinging at the hips so you come forward, you're level with the floor. From here, your left hand's going to come to the ground, your right arm to the ceiling. So your hand's just in the middle. Inhale as you come to the center and then the other way. Inhale, come to the center, unlock your knees, push through the feet, come up all the way. Okay, so I'll just turn side on and show you. One thing that's really important here is that we unlock the knees and you're coming up and down. So when you come up, you're really using your hamstrings and glutes. So it's not pushing your knees back and pulling up with your back. Okay, keep your knees unlocked and use that hinging feeling. Okay, so we inhale, come forward, reaching arms out. This time we take the left hand to the right foot. Raise your right arm to the ceiling. Come back into the middle, breathing in. Other side, breathing out. Come back to the middle. Come to standing, hinging at the hips, coming all the way up. That's it, good. Raise your arms. Let's do that one more time. Hinging at the hips, coming forward. So there's a little bit of an unlocked knee. We're going across to the right foot. Raise your arm. Come back to the center. We're going across to the other foot. Come back to the center. Unlock your knees. Hinging at the hips, coming up. Raising your arms up. Good. Let's take the arms out wide now. Turn your right foot to the short end of the mat. Unlock your knee. Reach long over the leg. Place your hand on the shin. Raise your other arm to the ceiling, triangle pose. See if you can straighten both legs. Roll the left hip back, roll the left shoulder back. If you can, you look to the ceiling, plant your feet. And if you want, you take that top arm over your ear. Make sure that shoulder stays tucked in. Hold. I'll hold this for another 2 breaths. Take that top arm up, unlock the knee, press through the feet, coming all the way up. Bring the feet in, keep your arms out. Turn the left foot. The right foot tucks in, left foot. Unlock, reach across. Place your hand on the shin. Raise your other arm. And then see if you can straighten out the legs. And rotate. So stack your hips, stack your shoulders. If you can, you're looking up, plant the feet. You can take that top arm over. Another 2 breaths. And hand comes up. Bend the knee a little bit. Come all the way up. Pigeon toe the feet. This time bring your hands behind. Another one of my favorite. Unlock the knees. Roll the shoulders back. Fold forward. Look through the legs. And you can pull the arms a little bit away from the body. And then bring the arms in, push through the feet, rolling all the way up. Good. And then we'll come back to the short end of the mat. And back to that prayer position. Notice how vitalizing those forward bends are. Get that little bit of cerebral flushing. That little bit of wake up. We're going to open the eyes. You can bring your hands down. Take your weight towards your left leg. And then just bring your right leg up. You can dorsiflex the foot and bring the right ankle across the left knee, hands onto the hips. And then start to sit back so your bottom goes back as if you're sitting in a chair. And then if you can, you bring your hands back to a prayer position. So just sitting with that ankle crossed over the knee, bottom back and opening up into the hips. You could hold on to something, piece of furniture, or you could also try bring your hands to the floor so you're just increasing that stretch. Back to prayer position. And press out of that position and coming up. Doesn't matter if you're a bit wobbly. Okay, so we're in that standing position. We shift the weights. You might want to have your hands on your hips. Take the left ankle across the right knee. Take a moment and then slowly in your own time into that seated position with the ankle crossed over, opening the hip. So again, you could hold a wall perhaps, furniture. You could try bringing the fingertips to the floor. And then again, back to that prayer position, pressing out of that, coming up. Very well done indeed. Okay, let's bring the hands to the front, come up onto the toes, bend your knees. I'm going to make our way to sitting back on the mat with as little use of our hands as possible. I've got everybody here today. Okay, let's start with the legs straight. Raising your arms, and we're going into that forward bend. So we did a real gentle forward bend right at the beginning. Now let's take that a little bit further. So you might even have, if you're holding on to your toes, you might even have your peace fingers around your toes, lifting the chest up and sending the chest forward, keeping the neck long. Take another breath like this. Start to mount just a little bit more on the exhale. So get your nose closer and closer to the knees. And then we come back to sitting. Bend your knees and then roll to lie down. Now we're going to bring the feet quite close to the bottom. Hands down alongside the body. Then lift your bottom off the floor. Come up into a bridge. Intertwine the fingers. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Not super long. Squeeze and hold. Lift a little higher and then make your way back down. Hug the knees into the chest and hold it there. Okay. We're going to do the same thing. You can come back into that bridge. Otherwise, we're going to go into the half shoulder stand. Viparit Karaniasana. So it's not the full shoulder stand. So the easiest way to do that, you're either going to stay with bridge pose, or otherwise you're going to start from plow pose. So the legs go up and over. So if you're going to come with me, plow pose, and then once you're there, you bring your elbows as close together as you can. You bring your hands to the back of your bottom, your pelvis, and then you let your hips kind of rest into your hands like you're holding a serving tray and your hips are resting. And then your legs go up on an angle. So you've got about a 45-degree angle with the legs. It's not all the way to the ceiling. It's a bit different than a full shoulder stand. And then close your eyes. And then what we want to focus here is on the throat. Just focus your breath at the throat. You might want to bring in the Ujjayi breathing and hold it. Just breathe and focus. Taking the legs over the head here. And then bringing your hands to the floor and slowly coming all the way down, lying back in Shavasana, palms turned up. So this is where we were right at the beginning. So just feeling the difference in the body. Connecting to the breath. going to take the right knee into the chest, and then the opposite hand takes that leg across. So we're rolling into a twist. The head turns in the opposite direction. Easy breath and hold. Gently roll back to the center, straightening the legs out. Take the left knee into the chest, and then take that across the body. As you look in the opposite direction, exhale. Close your eyes. And slowly ease back to center. We're going to hug the knees into the chest again. Hold it here. And then keep holding the knees. We're going to rock to a sitting position. Sitting up. Sit in a cross-leg position here. All right. So let's sit with the eyes closed for a moment. We're just going to finish our practice with some breathing. So we're going to go into Nawasankhya, the 9-count breath. So with your eyes closed, just focusing on that seated position. Feel free to sit in a way that's more comfortable. You want to have a nice space for the abdomen. And on your next inhale, let the abdomen expand. And continue with the inhale, and now let the chest expand. So it's kind of a two-phased abdomen and then chest. And then we hold. And on the exhale, dynamic like you're poking the belly in. Breathe out with a bit of a sneeze. And then we hold the breath out for 8 and 9. So it's a 9 count. So 2 counts in, breathing. And then we hold, keep counting. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then on 7, that dynamic breath out. And then you keep the breath out, counting 8 and 9. So 2 counts breathing in. And then holding, keep counting. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then on 7, that dynamic exhale. And then 8 and 9, holding the breath out. So just keep doing that. After your next count of 8 and 9, just return back to normal breathing. And then just take a moment just to feel into the presence, just into the steadiness, the ease of the breath. And when you're ready, slowly raising the arms overhead. Bring the hands in that prayer position through to the center of the chest. And namaste. Good.